let's talk about tips to make clearing clutter easier. There's a few things that you can do that will make clearing clutter a little easier for you. And it's different for every person. We all have different needs when it comes to support. But I would say one of the best things that you can do is find a clutter buddy. Yes, a clutter buddy. So this is a friend or relative who also has some clutter that they want to deal with. And what you can do is you can either have your clutter buddy come over and just be that cheerleader for you, just be that emotional support to help remind you of what are you clearing the clutter for? This is actually one thing that makes clearing clutter a lot easier. Figure out what you're making the space for. If you just clear clutter to clear clutter, it can be effective, but it's a lot more effective when you think about what you're making space for. So if we go back to this idea that everything around us is alive and is talking to us all the time, and everything that surrounds us is connected to our energy, when we make space, when we clear our clutter, we're actually making space on the inside for what we want. And it makes it a lot easier when we know what we want to make space for. Maybe you're single and you want to make space for a new relationship. Maybe you don't like your job and you want to make space for a new one. Maybe you're really stressed out and you'd like to make some space for a little bit more relaxation in your life. So figuring out what you want to make space for and having a friend, either on the phone or in person, who can be there to cheer you on, to high five you when you finally get rid of that old Metallica t-shirt from your 17-year-old boyfriend, to pat you on the back and to acknowledge that that it can be difficult to clear clutter. I could talk a little bit more about tips. Other things that make clearing clutter easier are music. Listen to music that you love. Listen to music that energizes you. Another thing that really makes clearing clutter easier is to give yourself a really clear time container. So what I mean by this is that what often happens with clutter is that we feel like we need to clear it all right now perfectly. All of it. The entire basement, all the closets, under the bed, all the clutter in the house. So if we have a lot of clutter, that's can be really overwhelming. So when we can create a time container, what happens is that we don't have to clear all the clutter right now. What we have to do is clear clutter for 15 minutes, half an hour. And I really encourage you to use the time container. Another important aspect of the time container is that you also use a space container. So again, you are not going to clear your whole closet in 15 minutes. But you could clear the top of your bedside table, or that stack of junk mail, or part of your desk. So just really delineating a very clear space that you're going to work with and a clear time frame that you're going to work within also makes clearing clutter easier. And celebrate when you're finished, reward yourself. Go for a walk, call a good friend, have a nice cup of tea, dance around in your underpants, your favorite song, do something that gives you energy and makes you feel good and acknowledges that you accomplished something. All right, have fun.